What's up, cuties? This is Fumi. I'll be here to let you know that I'll be headlining a comedy show in San Diego on April 12th at 8 p.m. If you want to come see me, please go to fumiabe.com for tickets. Hope to see you there. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Cash Cuties,
a super personal finance podcast where we look at our friends' credit card statements and judge their spending habits with love. I'm your host, Fumi Abe.
And I'm Stuffy Bake. If you're listening on your Apple Pod app, please leave us a review, hit follow on Spotify, and sub to our YouTube channel for the video version of this podcast. All the links are available in the episode description below.
Yay! And just want to give a quick shout out to everybody who has listened to us and subscribed on YouTube, because now we're above 1K. And if you noticed, now you're seeing some great ads for brands like MGM Grand, which have nothing to do with their podcast. But I know it's annoying for you, but hey, we're making some money. So
exciting.
That's really great. And also, the iTunes review, that's for real, man. You know, if you get a lot of reviews, that catches the Apple people's attention and they put you on like playlists and stuff. So if you're listening to this on your iPhones, please just pause it and then click back and just leave us a review. And
a good review. You
don't have to say anything if you want. You can just tap 5 stars. It truly makes a huge difference. So please help us out. Moving on to the Dono Daddies. These are people who donated on Patreon this week, and we want to give them a shout out. What is Patreon? Well, it's the best way to support this podcast and helps us pay for everything that is required for this show, like mics and stuff and coffees.
Lots of coffees.
Steffi's haircuts, a lot of stuff.
No, that's free.
You're right. That is free. Here we go. James F, $5. Thank you, James.
Thank you. Adam H, $10.
MP, I don't know what that means. Just the guy named MP. He's a video game character. $5.
Oh, shit. Okay. I'm sorry if I pronounce this wrong. Rikial GP, $5.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah.
This sounds like somebody's mispronouncing the word bulgogi.
Oh my goodness. No offense.
Thank you so much for the money. We really appreciate it. What's good, man?
Let me ask you.
Okay, yeah.
Let me ask you first today.
Okay, yeah.
So, how are you doing financially?
We were talking about this yesterday. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not putting anyone on blast. And if this person's listening, which I hope she's not, I just want to thank you that this happened, because I feel it boosted my ego. But so May is Asian American Heritage Month. And by the way, if you want Steffi and I to come talk to your company about some Asian shit, we're available.
Or your parties.
Okay? Your parties.
We would make your party so fun.
For sure. Just like let us know and we'll come for money. So like a lot of Asian comedians get asked to do stuff during Asian American Heritage Month for like corporations. Like, hey, can you come in and do a show or do a little talk about the entertainment industry? It's something I've been doing for a couple of years. And somebody hit me up on my website. This person works at
Jesus.
And they were like, hey, I saw you like last time you were in town. I thought you were really funny. Would you want to do something for a company? And I was like, this is hilarious because it's
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, of course, this is my rate. And you know, you'd have to like fly me out and stuff because I live in LA. And they were like, that's not a problem. Let's do it. So we're like talking. And then like after a while, I think she pitched me to her, you know, whoever she is her boss. And they ended up going with like an academic speaker, which makes sense because it's, I don't know. They were just like, hey, I think we're just going in a different direction or whatever. So it kind of fell through. So I was like a little annoyed, you know, because I wanted to go to New York and stuff. And it would be a lot of money. But I was like, okay, whatever. And then I get like a text from this woman.
The lady that works there.
The lady
that was hiring
that was
you.
my like point person. She was the one who reached out to me initially to do this, have this whole conversation. She reaches out to me and she's like, hey, like I'm sorry it didn't work out. Would love to like buy a drink if you're ever in town next time. And I just thought she was just being nice. And I was like, oh, for sure. Like I don't know when I'll be there, but like 100%, like I'll let you know. I didn't really mean that. I was like, yeah, I'll let you know, but I'm never.
Lunch at the.
Yeah. But then she texts me again and she goes, oh, just to be blunt, like I am asking you out. Like I want to take you out for a drink.
My God.
And I was like, whoa, dude. So
that's insane.
So unprofessional, but so hot. You know what I mean?
It's definitely hot.
It's hot.
It's almost like that show. What's that White House show? I don't know why. That's what I thought of.
The Kevin Spacey one?
Yeah, the House of Cards for some reason.
What aspect of that show?
I just imagine you like going there in like a business suit for some reason. He's in a business suit, and this has nothing to do with House of Cards. I just put all you guys in suits. And okay, anyways, Yeah,
But
it's kind of
how do you-
sexy that this work.
I know. It's like, I mean,
What do you do?
I was
this
so
is-
taken aback because,
I mean, that's very confident of this
I
person.
mean, went from like literally having a professional conversation about potentially hiring me, paying me to do this service for their company to like, hey, let's get drinks. Like, I'm into you.
You have to go.
Well, I don't live in New York.
Well, I mean, when you do, you're gonna
You
have
think
to
I
go.
should hit her up?
Dude, you guys have to schmooze.
I have to schmooze?
You have to schmooze.
She doesn't work in this industry. She works at the
Yeah, but isn't that hot to you for some reason?
No, it is hot. I guess it is hot. I guess like my question to you is like, what do you think about the professionality?
No, I think
of
it's
all this?
very unprofessional.
Has this ever happened to
If
you?
this happened the other way around, I don't know if this is like, if it was like a man or something, I wonder if it'd be even more. Well, okay, so she didn't hire you.
She didn't hire me, so and I'm not a full-time employee there, so like.
But is that why you weren't hired? What if she was just more like, I need to get it in, so I'm not gonna hire him?
So part of me was like, was this whole conversation a ruse? Like, did she reach out to me with this like fake project about me potentially performing there so she could talk to me, not hire me, and then ask me out or something? I don't know. I don't think that's what's happening.
Badass move.
But if she did do
It's
that,
also
to me, that's
crazy.
even hotter. I feel like. But I don't like. So have you ever worked with somebody and then they ask you out after? Has it ever happened to you?
So when I'm on jobs, modeling jobs, the directors tend to like me. This has happened multiple times. Well, I'm a model, so
Yeah.
like I think it makes sense. They hired me. I'm like their muse or whatever for the day or
Yeah.
whatever they find. And so back in the day, they would just ask me and flirt with me on set.
Okay.
But now I notice they wait till the end and then they'll be like, "Can I get your Instagram?"
Really?
Yes. So
really? And
it
what do
does
you
happen in our
what do you
industry
say?
a lot. I think just generally.
I think if you're in the entertainment industry, it's more common.
Yeah.
There's something, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but there's something okay about like, hey, you just did this, like you worked together for the whole day, and another person on set's like, hey, like I think you're cute, can I take you out for coffee? That seems like maybe it's not professional, but like there's no HR
not
and shit.
professional.
No, there's no HR in modeling, right? Like,
Yeah, but it does feel inappropriate when there's a place of power situation at work. So if it
Yeah.
happened on set, it's kind of weird, right? Because
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, you know what? No, I did this one job, a commercial job, when they flew me out to I was in Utah.
Yeah.
And the creative director wanted to get lunch with me before the show. So because we were there, they were
Okay.
setting up and doing the fittings the day before the
Okay.
actual commercial.
Okay.
But the creative director asked me out, and it was weird because I felt uncomfortable saying no.
Of course, because you're working with them tomorrow.
Yeah, but this guy was like in his like 70s or something,
Yeah,
60s,
yeah, yeah,
70s, and like I don't know. Okay, maybe we should take that. I don't know if that's an age thing. No, I could say that. I'm like,
you can stop there.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
No, I could say that because you know what? That's
Own it.
another.
he wronged you.
You know what?
You're the victim.
I know, but I didn't know why I had to talk about age. But there is some weirdness of this man who's like way older than me also
Yeah.
asking me out, but also being in a place of power. And I couldn't, in my head, I was like, oh shit, like, is it going to affect my job the next day?
Right,
so
right.
I
Oh,
still went.
man.
I went to the dinner. It was weird. It was a dinner, but I told him I was dating someone, but I wasn't dating anyone.
Yeah, you just got that out of the way.
Yeah, I
so
got
that-
out of the way, and he still had the nerve to ask me to come up to my room.
Whoa!
Isn't that wild?
But this is before the shoot.
This was before, so it was like
So you said no to him
because we were in a
obviously,
different state.
right? So then the next day you had to work with
I had to
him.
work with him.
That's so uncomfortable.
It's so inappropriate, and he was like telling me his divorce and all this stuff. So that was uncomfortable for sure. So like but you know what?
Damn.
Can I talk about another work thing real quick?
Yes.
When I was doing real estate, I was doing an open house at this like multi-unit property that I was selling new constructions, and this guy who was a potential client, and this might have been a ruse where he acted like he would have used me, because in the end he didn't use me as an agent, but I ended up dating him for 2 years and he was a client.
Whoa.
But so as a realtor, that's different, right? Because there's no like
the power dynamic is different because he's just trying to buy a house, and so like
yeah, but I didn't know. The thing is, I think I was so young that I really believed he was going to buy a house from me too.
yeah.
But like, I wasn't dating him necessarily for that, but I thought
For the
dating
sale?
him would also
Help the sale.
Yeah,
Did
I
he
mean,
ever,
wouldn't
did he ever
that?
buy?
He did, but he didn't use it. His father's in real estate.
So he never. Oh, so he played you. He never.
He played me. He was like
that's
older
fucked
too,
up.
so I don't know if that has anything. But anyways, yeah, work relationship. But it was so hot because at work I would act like I didn't know.
Yeah, it's. I guess like it's. Every time we talk about stuff like this, it's always so sad from the women's perspective. By the way, like for me, it's like I don't even. I would make a joke there, but I'm so dumb. I don't know anything about to have a reference point, so I don't even know what jokes I could make. But I thought it was a national institution. I don't know they had like fucking branches in different cities or whatever.
Oh, really?
But
how did you feel immediately after? Did you feel like?
Well, I was flattered because, you pointed this out to me yesterday. It's nice when somebody, because like some people ask, like I've been asked out a couple times, but usually I get asked that by like women who like kind of have their shit together, not necessarily like in corporate, but like. The couple women that I have gone out with, actually, God, this is a pattern in my life. They usually pay for me the first time we hang out, and but it's after I try to pay. So like I take them out for drinks or whatever, and then I'm trying to do like the guy thing to be like, and I also enjoy their company, so I'm happy to pay. So I'm like, oh, let me get this, and then they just go, and they take it, and it's some sort of power thing. One girl said, "I don't want you to have that power." I've had that said to me. So there's something interesting about how like I feel like the women who maybe gravitate towards me, they're of a specific breed. They're sort of like powerful women who are like they don't need no man. You know? Yes.
Don't say that they're not powerful if they don't take the check.
Oh no, that's not what I meant. I just meant like. You're right. Don't cancel me. Wait. Allow me to dig myself. Allow me to dig myself out from the hole.
Okay.
I guess like powerful, not even powerful. I guess like bold, confident, maybe a little aggressive. I don't know if this is the right word, but there's some masculine attributes to them a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I think that is true.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so that is very interesting. It's almost like maybe they feel like there's a worth to. You seem like the type of person that they want to pursue more. So
they're making an initial investment.
Yes.
they're bidding first.
Yes. I could see that. I could see myself doing that if I really. And I was like, no, I need to make a really good
impression.
Here. Yeah,
That's
good impression.
So funny.
And I'd be like, okay.
It's so funny. I feel like if a girl pays for me, I don't know if you feel this way when a guy pays for you. I do feel like, not that I owe them anything, but I do feel like now we are dancing to the rhythm of your drum. Does that make sense? like now she's the snake flute guy in India. Like I feel like I'm under their spell now. You know what I mean? I feel like I lost a little bit of control for sure.
So this move, if we say this is a move, say that this is a calculated move.
Yeah,
works.
Yeah.
Wanting to stay around.
You talking about the paying thing?
Yes, if a girl pays for you.
I think it works for me. I don't know if it works for other men.
Guys?
And I want to point out, I don't think this works the other way. I think just because a guy pays for a girl doesn't mean the girl is under your spell, because that's a more common thing. But when a girl pays for a guy, like boom, I do like for a second, like it's like somebody just punched me in the face. I'm like, oh, in Street Fighter, you're like. It's kind of like that. And then now, because in Street Fighter, when you get punched too many times, you're like this. And then someone can grab you and throw you and do a little judo move.
Yeah.
And that's so it's like their move. The ball's in their court.
So
they're in
funny.
Control. I kind of like that, to be honest with you.
It's hot. It's a hot move.
So I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted on. I'm trying to go to New York in May. I don't know if it's professional. To be honest, I kind of want to do the gig because she was like, hey, maybe we can do it like over the summer or something. But I feel like if anything happened, she wouldn't hire me. So I don't know.
There's two ways about it, right? Like I could see how if you did go out and you schmooze but you obviously know it's not going to be a relationship because you guys are far away.
Yeah.
It could help you in the
scene.
You might get I don't know, do they know, like is there like secret intel stuff that they can tell you?
By the way, now that I'm saying this so many times, I don't even know if I should be saying that because well, whatever, I don't give a shit. We're just comedians.
Yeah, what do we know? We don't even know what the are.
Industry. Yeah, I don't even know where you are exactly. Yeah.
I have to say, so there is something empowering, by the way, going back to like the dating thing and when I pay, there's something empowering about it that makes me personally feel hot.
Have you done that?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I know that you like to get paid. You like to pay for you, but I'm sure sometimes the power, right? Like
there's something where I feel like I don't know. It's like there's something hot about me being like, let me take care of it.
Now,
and
when do you pull that move? Is it a specific type of man?
it's usually like a vibe. Yes. Well, if I feel like they've been paying for a bit, of course, then I feel like I want to pay.
Yeah.
Like, but sometimes it's like holidays, birthdays.
What about on a first date though?
I honestly don't know if I've ever first date. I've split.
On a first date.
I don't think I've ever fully paid for a first date.
Not even as a power move.
Wait, I'm gonna try
You
that.
should just do
you know
it
what?
once.
I'll come back to you guys. I'm gonna do it like
Let me know
this
how
week.
you feel afterwards.
And then I'll do. I paid for coffee on first dates, but that doesn't. That's
count.
different.
I'm talking
That's
like
different.
I've had like a full meal where it's like, oh, this is kind of expensive. I'm happy to pay, and then they're like, nope, I got it. And
Yeah,
you know what? Some of these girls who did this to me, they
Where
weren't
was it
necessarily
at?
like. It's happened to me like 2 or 3 times.
That's a lot, dude.
One time I was just at a bar. Another time we were at a restaurant, and it was kind of a like not super pricey, but it was like definitely over 100, and I was like happy to pay.
Yeah.
You know, and this girl was sort of like, she was like a little bit younger, not like legal. What's good? She was
Okay.
but I
Speak
think she
clear.
was sort of like starting out her career or whatever
Yeah.
at the time. So like I know she didn't have that much money.
Okay.
And she still paid for me, and it was really hot. And I
That's
felt
so
like,
interesting.
yeah, I was like a little snake following an Indian flute master.
Wow. So we now know
We now know what.
to get you to submit.
You just have to buy me something nice. You just have to treat me like, you know, the beautiful girl that I am. That's just what it is, you know? Treat me, dude.
I fucking love it.
Okay.
I love it. Man.
Anyways,
All
how are
right.
you doing financially, Steffi?
Okay, I feel kind of good about this week because my goals were to just move some money around. And so I actually transferred I'm with Edward Jones, and they
Okay.
used to do my financial like advising.
Remember when you first told me that? I thought you just meant like some guy, because I didn't know what when he said I'm with Edward Jones. I'm like, okay, is that the name of your new boyfriend? I had
Yeah,
no
you did
idea.
think
I'm so
that.
dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, good old Eddie.
Yeah, Edward Jones. I'm looking him up. Okay,
God,
keep going,
can you
keep going.
imagine a guy named Edward Jones?
I mean-
I don't trust that guy.
That guy,
I should-
that guy sounds like he owns slaves today. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
this is
that
what-
guy's so white.
He's so racist.
Yeah.
And this is why it's stupid that I had my money in there, because guess what? He has been taking advantage of me.
Okay, what happened?
Edward Jones is known to charge for fees with money. And so I wanted my Roth IRA's in there, and I've been contributing since I started real estate.
Okay.
I took a break last year actually, but normally I max out. I didn't realize, I opened it and I realized that there was negative amounts of money in the last 2 years. Like just not as much as I contributed. And so
Okay.
I like started looking into it more because I just signed up for all this stuff back
Yeah.
in the day. And they charge like a convenience and a management fee
Yeah.
of like over 1% for not doing anything because the money's just been sitting there. So I felt bad moving because again, the person that we were with was an agent that like my ex used to know. So I just had my money in there. But that person left.
Yeah.
And now I have a new agent. So now I don't feel as like, what's the stupid like guilt that I feel?
I know you don't owe this person anything. Also, like I know what you're talking about. So like, there's two options. You can hire a financial advisor who works for whatever company, and you pay them a management fee. It's usually 1% of assets under management. That's typically what it is. The more you manage with them, the lower that rate goes for some places. I also know that even banks like Chase or like JP Morgan or like Fidelity, like they offer services like that where just sort of match you up with like a financial advisor, but they don't really like do anything for you. So I don't, like that sucks that he was like
It's
stealing
just
money.
wasting money
Especially for
for
Roth
me.
stuff. It's like you just put it in once and you like leave it alone.
Exactly. And so what I decided to do is just start going down the rabbit hole of just analysis. So it took me like a whole week before I made a decision where to transfer it. I don't know if you're like that, but with money, I get so nervous of moving things around 'cause it's like the unknown. Like I feel like something will happen where just like the money will disappear during the transfer.
Well, because
or, like,
especially with the like the Silicon Valley Bank thing that happened, right?
Exactly.
Like you just don't know. That's why I tried to sign up with like, and I'm not even saying this is foolproof, but I tried to sign up with like oh, this like high yield savings account is owned by Chase or whatever. It's like, okay, that's Chase. Like they're probably gonna be okay. You know, I try to like go for like a bigger name.
Yeah. And it's also if you get something that's like FDIC approved,
Yeah.
is what I heard. Like they cover you up to.
Well, it's different. Like different banks have different rules. So some are 250,000.
Yeah.
Some are only 50,000, depending on like the account or something like that.
Right. So
you have
I
to look into
searched.
that.
Yeah. So I looked up. Reddit has been my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
Reddit is where I search for.
So where did you move all that money?
Um,
Because you could move it. So like if you're moving the Roth, are you just moving it to like a Vanguard? Because you could move it without paying a management fee to those places, or you just took the cash and reinvested.
No, so I
somewhere else?
moved it to Schwab because I already have an account there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess I trusted Schwab, the name, so I transferred it. But it takes a long time. It's not just like it happens the next day.
Right. And you're not going to be paying a fee at Schwab.
No, I called them and they said there's no fee. But my friend told me even if a place does have a fee, to call them and be like, hey, can you get rid of the fee? For then it should be fine. They'll cancel the transfer fee. But Schwab does not have the fee. But they did tell me, customer service told me that they called Edward Jones and they have like a leave, like for you leaving the company, there's a transfer fee of like $90. But I asked if Schwab will
cover that.
Yeah, but it hasn't happened yet. So they're like, they put into the notes. I don't know. I'll come back and let you know.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
I mean, this isn't really funny,
well,
but this is just.
This is interesting because
dry.
I think the interesting thing here is that like, like it's good that you did your research. I also think you didn't necessarily have to leave Edward Jones. Like Edward Jones is like a bigger company, so you could just
Then
simply.
Schwab?
It doesn't matter what's big. You could simply just ask, hey, I don't need a financial advisor anymore. You're allowed to have an account at any of these banks or financial institutions without having a manager attached to it, right? Like I have investment accounts on my own that nobody's managing except me, so I don't pay anything. So I don't necessarily think you had to leave Edward Jones to accomplish this.
Okay, I don't know. I just know when I look up Reddit, everyone hates on Edward Jones.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a separate issue. I'm just saying, like, as an institution that offers Roths and stuff like that, like every company offers the same thing.
But some of them do charge for like.
Yeah, but you could ask. But you could ask them not to assign you a thing. I think.
Right. I don't know that.
JP Morgan is always, because I bank with Chase. They're always being like, "Do you want an advisor?" And I always say no.
Oh, I see.
I don't want to owe them money. Yeah.
Okay. There's also another thing. If you guys aren't aware, there's traditional Roth IRAs, and then there's just Roth IRAs, which I just found out. So I didn't even know what I had. I had a Roth IRA, and I literally spent like 3 hours trying to even understand the difference between the two.
Yeah. Well,
do you know the difference?
Well, yeah. The difference is one, you contribute after you pay taxes, and one, you contribute before you pay taxes.
Yes, at the end, like when you're like 60 years old.
So for the traditional, you pay taxes when you're 60 when you want to take it out. And
right.
in Roth, you already pay taxes, so you can just take what it is. But there's different rules. Like I think you can only contribute, I think maybe it's like $6,000 for each or something per year. There's like limits depending on your salary and stuff like that. So like you can't just go like invest in shit like randomly because you might not be allowed to invest in Roth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope you talk to somebody about that.
No, it actually does say that on Reddit. I talked to Reddit.
You should
and
be
all
paying
the people
Reddit.
Reddit's really amazing. The other thing is the high yield savings account. That's what I'm trying to transfer because I have all my money sitting in a checking account, and I could be. I know it's bad because I know you now, and you talk about it all the time, and it's in every like one of your PowerPoint things. So like at this point, out of guilt and shame, I finally am like I'm looking into it, but I'm doing the same thing, which is like I'm analyzing like 10 different places I could be at.
No, just go the one that like has the highest one. Like
no, it has to be FDIC approved.
They're all FDIC approved.
No, they're not.
Which ones aren't?
There's a lot of ones that aren't.
Really?
There's like random ones that aren't.
What's the one that everybody has like Ally or whatever? Ally Bank.
Ally Bank. But right now, can I tell you that you should probably do this too because you probably don't know that you're not getting the max right now. There are places that are getting 4.5%.
Yeah, but it fluctuates.
It does, but it's never been at this point.
So the thing with the high yield savings account is that like it is good. I've had it for a very long time.
Okay, show off.
You're
like, Steffi,
let me just this is my opinion on it. It is really good. But like I have a lot of money in there and I'm still only getting like $500 a year. So it's not a great like investment.
That's because you're not okay. If you have a lot of money, because this is what I did. I put in, if there's a calculator for Amex right now, because Amex is
I have Amex. Yeah.
Okay, it's 3.75 right now.
Yeah.
If I put in $30,000, I get less than $1,000 for the year or something like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be getting $500. You should be getting like at least 1,000 or so at this moment. It doesn't stay. It fluctuates, right?
It fluctuates on average, right? Like for the last couple of years were bad because the the economy was bad.
No,
right?
it's getting better now.
It's getting better now, but I've literally had these accounts for like over 10 years, so it like just fluctuates. So just on average, when I look at the end of the year, like even if it's $1,000, right? I have more than 30K in my accounts. Even if I'm getting $1,000, that is a terrible investment to have. Like, if you have $60,000 in something, and you're only making $1,000, like that's not that good.
So where should I put the money?
And that's why, like, it's good to have cash. And it's like, I don't know. It really depends on your threshold on risk, like your risk tolerance.
I'm a risk taker.
But when I talk to my financial advisor, and maybe I'm like, I'm still pretty conservative, but like everybody I talk to, they're like, you just have too much cash, and so like this could be growing at a faster rate.
Yeah.
Even if you put it into like a regular mutual fund, that's pretty safe. Over 5 years, you'll make more on the investment rather than just having it in the bank, because again, that rate fluctuates all the time.
Even with the high yield, you're saying? So like, how about a money market?
It's really not that money. Money markets, because
right now
I think it's a little bit better than high yield.
It is.
But like,
right now it's
again,
at 5.
Anything that's more liquid, you're gonna get lower returns, and that's why it's only like 3-4%. Whereas like investments and stuff like that, not only do you get dividends, you get the value of itself goes up.
So have you thought about moving some of that money into a money market?
I moved a bunch of it.
Oh
no, not to money market. I just invested it.
Okay, can I tell you one more why I still haven't? Vanguard is giving $50 if you open an account with them. And there's another, I forget what other company is giving $200. Fidelity or something gives $200 if you open. Okay, that's a lot of money, especially if you're only making like $500
so
for
you're
the
gonna
year.
move it again from
That's what people are doing. Isn't that crazy? I thought about that and I was like,
I don't know if $200 is worth it. Like, because then you get that transfer fee or whatever you just talked about. So
have you heard of Wealthfront?
No, that sounds so scammy. What the fuck?
Okay, because they're giving 4.5%.
Dude, I don't think you're not in a position where you need to be like nickel and diming. Just pick a brand that you trust and you'll be fine. Again, all these things fluctuate. I promise you, when I signed up for Amex, it was the highest one and now it's not. And like, it's just going to be the same thing. It's always fluctuating. So like, this is how they get you. Like, 4.5, people like fucking jerk off to that number and they sign up.
Oh,
and
I've
then,
been
like,
jerking off.
You've been jerking off to the 4.5 APY?
Yeah.
God damn.
It's not even in there. It's not even in and I'm jerking off. Are you scared about the market? Like about what's happening?
You're scared about the market?
Like, or are you just
I don't know what's going on with the market. Is it good or bad?
I don't know. It sounds like, well, everyone's buying Bitcoin and I'm like freaking out because
we're not doing Bitcoin. I'm not allowing you to buy Bitcoin.
I have Bitcoin. Do you have Bitcoin?
I sold all of it.
At a high?
I only bought $100 worth of Bitcoin at one point, and it depreciated to like 60, and I was like, this is dumb, and I sold it.
At $60?
I bought $100 worth of Bitcoin.
I know.
So which is like 0.00005, whatever, It's like Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin going up?
Bro, it's like at 38 again, 38,000, which it used to be at like.
Is it because the regular economy is doing bad?
Well, Silicon, you know how Silicon Valley, bank was gone? So all those people are like freaking out because all those people, if only $250,000 is the amount that's whatever it's called insured.
Yeah.
Imagine people who have startups have been putting money into that.
Right.
They've lost all that money. So all these actual nerds who are smart and know about what all this shit, the tech people, they're like, no, we need to go into Bitcoin because then it's not regulated by anything.
But Bitcoin is even harder. I don't know. I mean, you can be a Bitcoin guy if you want to, but you have to be researching like all the time. Like, I feel like you really have to know what you're doing.
I don't know.
This whole attitude of like, taking forever to even open a high yield savings account is not the kind of person that's going to succeed in Bitcoin. So I think you should stay away from that shit.
You need to be a risk taker.
Yeah, you got to be more risky, man.
High yield, just the fact that we're even talking about high yield is not risky at all.
No, it's not. It's very like finance with a condom on,
like really, double the condom.
Yeah, we have 2 condoms on. Yeah. Because it's so safe to do a high yield savings account.
It's so safe. Hello, my sweet, sweet employed and unemployed cuties.
Ever been injured at work? Ever struggled to take a lunch break without being judged? Ever wrongfully terminated?
If you have answered yes or no of anyone who has, consider contacting your Korean lawyer friend, Briana Kim, at koreanlawyerfriend.com or at 714-482-6301.
Your Korean lawyer friend will protect and seek enforcement of your rights as an employee.
Has a manager ever asked you to run personal errands beyond your job responsibilities? Have you ever been let go unfairly because your boss is retaliating against you for personal reasons like sexual orientation or lifestyle?
You should be compensated for all of the above because you and your time are valuable. I remember when I worked in the music industry back in the late 2000s, I had like an admin job and I felt like my boss was using me as her personal assistant on and off the clock, and I wasn't really sure how to bring it up. And I wish I knew that there was somebody I could call because at the time I didn't know that I had rights.
I remember a manager once told me to wear makeup because I didn't look old enough for the office. I remember feeling so embarrassed and started questioning whether my age actually affected my work abilities. Briana Kim works on contingency, which means her services are free until she settles the case. So you have nothing to lose.
Contact Briana Kim PC today at koreanlawyerfriend.com for a free consultation by mentioning our podcast, Cuties. This week, we wanted to answer some fan questions. We love doing these. We got a couple here that we thought that you guys would enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
This first question comes from David C. This one's called house sitting. David says, I asked a good friend to house sit for me, and he wants to charge $200 for a week. Parentheses, I'm still renting. I do have 2 cats, but they're pretty low maintenance. Just wanted to know what your take on this is. This David is asking his friend to house sit, and his friend is like, I'll do it for $200. That is not a friend. That's crazy. I have friends who house sit pretty regularly, but no one, I never really thought about the finances of it because I don't think they're ever getting paid. I think the deal is like, okay, well, you get to stay in my house while I'm gone or something like that, you know?
Yeah, like I'm curious, is the house nicer?
Yeah, is this house...
Is he charging because he doesn't want to do it? Because if it was like a shit show of a whole of a house.
Oh, you mean the house sucks?
Yeah, like
the
can
house
you imagine?
dirty.
It's like disgusting. There's hoarding involved.
Right.
Then
so
I would be like,
yeah. So it's like $200 is just for my mental health. Like
mental health, or it's their way to be like, I don't really want to do it.
Oh, so I'm hoping you say no.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great point. I remember that was a technique that we would do in corporate America. Sometimes the client would be like, hey, can you do this really annoying project for us? And if we didn't want to do it, we would overcharge. Yeah. And then if they say yes, it's like, okay, well, we're charging a butt ton or whatever. So it's fine. Yeah. But if they say no, it's like, good. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I think you have David, your house is dirty, okay? And your friend doesn't want to go anywhere near it, and so he's over-quoting you because he wants you to say no. I think that's theory A.
That's
for sure.
Funny. Well, how if it wasn't? Say this is a regular house. Your friend, if this happened to you.
I think that, maybe this friend is like busy. I understand, maybe he'd rather just be at his house. Because like, I think the only time when house sitting... you can use the bartering where it's like, oh, you can just stay at my house, is like if I asked you to house sit my house in Malibu. I said, Steffi, can you take care of my house in Malibu while I'm away? That's like a treat, I guess, to most people because like, oh, I live by the beach and feel free to use the pool and eat whatever you want in the fridge. So then it's like, okay, cool, I have to be there, but in exchange for my time, I can have some friends over and like have a nice weekend, right? That I get.
It's like a vacation home
at
this point.
But like if it's not that, then like if somebody asks you to house sit down the street, you're like, or like if I asked you to house sit my apartment in West Hollywood, it's like, why would you want to drive down? You know what I mean? Like it's like, it's
down
kind of
the street's one thing, but if I went to West Hollywood,
it's inconvenient for you.
Yeah,
and you're busy.
Yeah.
So I think it's like I don't necessarily think charging is like, I guess now that I'm saying it out loud, it's not that ridiculous. I think I was thrown off because you said friend. But the other thing,
it says good friend.
Oh, he says good friend?
So that is kind of confusing.
He said good friend. Oh, shit.
Well, how is he doing financially?
Which one?
The friend.
You're right. Maybe the friend needs the money.
He might need that $200 for and he's like.
As I get older, I don't want to do anything for no money anymore, Like I won't. Like even for, I mean, it's nice. It's good.
You know your worth.
Well, yeah. I mean,
people buy you lunch.
Yes.
People buy you shit. People are like, they're asking to like house sit your house just because your essence is there.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I
Yeah.
think sometimes I don't know how you feel about this, but like I know that $200 maybe David, you can afford this. You know, if it's not that annoying for you, or if you can afford it, maybe it's not a big deal, because if you charge somebody, then you can hold them to a higher standard, and so therefore they have to do a good job, and you have more leverage and you have more power, which we love on this podcast. So
Yes.
that's good.
What if this is the type of friend who asks for favors a lot? David, have you
David?
ever considered that you might ask this specific person for a lot of things and you don't know you're
Right.
doing it, and this person is
It's like
resentful?
annoyed. Yes.
Because I could see that.
100%. Maybe this isn't the first time you ask him to house sit, or like go pick up his car or pick up his kids
Yeah.
or something.
I'm just trying to figure out why this friend who's a good friend would I'm
right.
just trying to think from that person's
Right,
perspective.
because like we're trying to figure out the equation, because it doesn't make sense. A good friend necessarily wouldn't do that.
No.
You know, but if you annoy a good friend enough times, if you test him enough times, he will quote you $200 a week.
yeah.
Also,
Okay,
I
yeah.
also think like if you pay somebody, then okay, I don't know what you think about this. If you ask someone to house sit for you, is it assumed that they're gonna fuck in your apartment? What's going on with your head there?
More than fuck, the first thing I would think is that they're gonna go through my shit. They're gonna
Like what
find
shit?
my diaries. They're
Oh.
gonna find something I don't want them to find.
Okay.
And not so much now, because I don't really necessarily have physical diaries the way I used to, but I have
Yeah.
had this thought before where I'm worried. I've had my sister like stay at my place, and she has growing up, she has looked through my diaries.
Well, if it's that's different. I feel your sisters know. You know what I mean? Like I feel.
Wait,
If it was like a friend, if it weren't related, I don't know that I'd feel comfortable going through your shit. But maybe that's just me. I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
I've also done this fucked up thing. I remember my best friend as a kid. I went to her house and she showed me her new diary because it was cute looking. And
Yeah.
I took it and I started reading it like a psycho.
When
bitch.
she was away.
No, when she was there, I'd be like, no, let me read it. Like it was some
You read it in
power
front of
move.
her?
Yeah, it's not fucked up. I would
So fucked up.
Dude, that is some older sibling thing that's so fucked up that now I would never do that. It's
Did she
just like,
cry?
no, but she was getting so freaked out that like I was gonna read it that it made me want to do it more.
Oh my god.
I mean, I was like literally like 11 years old. Okay,
Still,
so
there's something in there.
there's something crazy. It's a
Yeah.
power. It's like this thing that I feel like I should be able to know all her secrets. It's insane of me, and now I should actually call her and tell her I'm sorry about that. But
God damn.
like maybe that because I did it, that I'm like
Yeah.
other people are gonna just like want to read my
But see,
shit.
but if you paid someone to do it, then now they're a professional house sitter by definition, and therefore maybe they would feel more guilty going through your shit
Yes.
or whatever. Like if I was paid to house sit, I would not invite anyone over, and I would not I wouldn't even masturbate in your house, you know. But if you didn't pay me, I would jerk off in your house, 100%.
Okay, I just imagined you jerking at my place, and I was
Yeah,
like,
but
don't
I
wanna-
keep it clean. You know what I'm saying? I just do it. In the
I don't
bathroom.
want you to do it. I don't even want you
I'm
to.
not going to.
I don't
do it.
even want you to do it in my shower.
I don't do it in the shower. It gets all messy. I do.
Okay.
I do it. I do it over the toilet. Is that weird?
Fumi!
Well, I bring my phone in the bathroom.
Wait, are you standing or sitting?
I'm standing.
Eh.
You masturbate sitting? Well, you're a girl.
Yeah, I'm not standing over. I'm not hovering on top.
No, I'm
Why-
standing like a
That'd
psycho.
be weird if I did that.
Yeah, if you.
I actually straddled the seat and I sit on it, and then I'm jerking it with my legs open around the bowl.
Oh, I see. No, I bring my phone into the toilet, and then when I'm getting ready to go, I grab some. This is getting so graphic.
Wait, so
but,
how do you get it into the hole? So you have to aim it down?
No, I don't aim it into the bowl because it gets all sticky in there.
Then
And
why are you over the...
So what I do is when I'm ready to go, I take toilet paper
Yeah.
and I bust in the toilet paper.
Wait, and is it... Do you
It's in my
fold
hand.
it?
It's in
Is
my
it
hand.
folded?
Yeah, it's like over my hand, right? I like fold it. I fold it. So
Okay.
It's like 3 layers.
Folded. Okay, 3 layers.
Yeah. And then I bust into the toilet paper, and then it's easy cleanup. You just fold it.
You do
reverse.
origami before, and you make one of those little
Little
bowls.
crane. Yeah, little bowls.
That, you know those little. Yeah. I choose one, bust into one,
And it's like, oh, you're gonna
and
have a great day today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's how I do it. But anyways, I would never do that to your house, David, if you paid me. So we hope that this was helpful. Let us know, keep us posted, and hope that your good friend You should ask him if you guys are friends. I feel like you guys aren't friends.
Yeah, are you guys?
I don't know why. You should talk to your boys, man. Let's move on to the next
Hash things
question.
out there. Like, really open up.
Okay, this one is, we just got this from our fan Bonnie S. And this is what she had to say.
So I'm really conflicted. I don't know whether or not if I should continue on going to my favorite coffee shop because now my large beverage went from $5 to now $7.50. But what pains me the most is they used to be using Horizon milk and Clover milk. But now I see from the corner of my eye, and they're not even hiding it, Walmart Great Value milk. And also for their half and half. And I mean, $7.50. And I also tipped them. And I'm just like, so that's like $8.50. And so would you continue on going to that coffee shop or would you just break it off? I just want to know.
Oh, man.
This is such a funny question. Wait, first of all, I'm not a coffee drinker, so can you let me know, is $7.50 for a cup of coffee a lot? Like, what is she getting?
I think that's pretty. I think average is about $5-6 these days in LA
For a cup of regular coffee.
It's like a lot. It's probably a latte, like $4.50 for just the brew, like just like a regular brew.
Okay.
At like my local coffee shop.
Yeah.
And then anything additional, if milks, any alternative milks, $1 at least.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's at least $5.
Even if you get regular milk, it's
so
$1?
$5.50. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, regular milk is probably around $5-6. Yeah, I would say, even at $5.50 plus tip, $6.50 is an average amount for a coffee these days.
But she's saying
in
it's
LA.
$7.50 without tip.
That's so expensive.
So wait, I'm sorry. Did she say it used to be $5.50 and now it's $7.50?
Yeah, it's $5. I think it was either $5 or $5.50, and then it's now $7.50, and then with tip it's $8.50. That is insane to me. But if it's your favorite place and you're spending like at least 3 hours there. I would say 3 hours. What do you think? 3 hours. And you're using their internet, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. But if you're just going there and just getting your cup of coffee, I'm sorry, you probably will have to leave.
Well, what do you think about this whole thing of like, not only did they up the price, now they're using shittier ingredients. So they're maximizing their premium. So I love that she saw.
I know.
She described it as if she's like an FBI out of the corner of my eyes. She says, "The corner of my eyes."
She's like, "Is it still worth the value?" No, I mean,
they're not even using Horizon milk.
I'm sorry, I don't know why that sounds gross. Something about Walmart. It's not even Target. It's Walmart grade. Do they even have? That's weird that they.
I mean, look, I know.
Why aren't they hiding it?
Yeah, they should hide. They should hide.
You should be hiding it if you're $7.50.
This is kind of like when I think Aquafina,
the water
brand got in trouble because I think for a while they were just selling tap water or something. You remember that?
Is that real?
It was like, I don't know. I heard about it somewhere, but like it's kind of like, yeah, you need to like, because I truly believe that like, yeah, like a place like Erewhon in LA, like, do I really think what they're using is some incredible produce that is worth $4 or $5 more? No, but the branding is good. Let me believe. Let me buy the fantasy. Like if you're gonna charge $7.50, right? There's a part of me that goes, "Ooh, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be an amazing latte." But it don't show me that.
True.
So I think you need to have a conversation with the owner of the coffee shop.
You want her to how should she converse? Like ask up front or write a letter?
I think she should go to town hall or whatever, city council. No, I think she should just be like
a voice memo.
Maybe a voice memo. Maybe a letter would be good. But I think some way to express like, hey, I want to start off by saying I love this coffee shop. I've been a patron for multiple years. I live in the neighborhood. I love the quality of your coffee. And I know that, since COVID, people have had to charge a little bit more. And like, in a weird way, like I'm cool with that because I love you guys so much and I want to support local. That being said, I recently noticed that you're using milk from behind the dumpster. Okay. You're using Walmart milk. And I think it's really important to like, I just think it's really important to sell people on their fantasy. It's kind of like a strip club. Did I tell you about the strip club? When there's like dancers who just come up to you and they go, "Would you like a dance?" And I'm like, no. But if they sit down next to me and they chat with me and they make me feel good, and then I'm gonna buy multiple dances from
It's the potential that she could be your girlfriend.
It's just like, but I know she
Sell
can't.
you
but,
on
but like,
the
but the
idea,
fantasy.
fantasy.
Sell me on the fantasy that this coffee is incredible and it's from Colombia and it's like some fucking artisanal shit. Sell me on that.
Oh my God, I
and
love
you're
it.
being sloppy by buying your milk from. It says value on it. That's not hot, you know.
Maybe they ran out of milk. There was a milk shortage, and they just for one day had to go and do a Walmart run.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
Oh, maybe it was the one day thing.
That's what I hope is like they just had to go there
They
for
had
some
to go.
reason.
Yeah.
But I do think you should complain about that. I think there is something that you don't even have to complain. You could just be like, hey, I noticed that value milk and you guys used to have the other. I would do that. I would.
I noticed you have great value Walmart milk when you used to have organic Horizon.
That you used to like,
jerk
like
off the
jerk
cow.
off
Yeah.
yourself. So
You could also do this thing where, like, if you want to be passive about it, you could be in line and just kind of like tell the other patrons in line, be like, yo, do you see that milk? Start a movement. You know what I mean?
dude,
Let the people talk. You as a customer, you have rights. Now call Briana Kim if you want some help.
that part's not even sponsored.
That part's not even sponsored.
But we do love it. We do love it.
Yeah.
She'll probably know what to do, actually.
Yeah. Call Briana Kim.
It's misrepresentation.
Yeah.
And
it's,
in there,
it's false branding.
it's a form of abuse.
You as a customer, you have rights. Call Briana Kim by going to KoreanLawyerFriend.com.
That's hilarious.
We love. All right.
Okay.
Hey cuties, we want to take a quick break from the show and tell you that Steffi and I started a Patreon.
What is Patreon? Patreon is the best way to support us and this podcast. Fans can subscribe to our page for however much money you want to give, and in return, you get rewards and perks.
That's right. We'll be releasing bonus episodes where we answer fan questions and get into more of our chaotic lives.
Yes. Just go to patreon.com/cashcutiespod and help us grow.
That's patreon.com/cashcutiespod. Back to the show.
Yay. Next.
Should we do another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just do it.
Let's do one
So,
more.
do you want? Should we do Abu's? That's an easier Parent Trap.
Should we do a boo or suburbs? Which one do you wanna
Abu, I think. So
Okay.
I feel like Abu. So Parent Trap. Have you guys ever had to set aside a budget for helping out parents' family? And how do you deal with the need to help other parents more financially while still taking care of bills and treating yourself here and there? For context, I'm 26 years old. I make $125K a year. I know that this is a significant amount of money, but it's also not the type of money that I can fully provide for them with. My parents are hardworking, proud people who also complain when my brother and I try to pay for everything. But I also know that their savings are not ideal and will not provide an ideal retirement plan for them. I live with my parents currently, but I'm planning to move in with my girlfriend soon. Congratulations.
Hey.
Get out of there. My parents still work and are able to pay for rent and other things, but they live a frugal lifestyle. Plus, we live in Boston area and the cost of living has increased a lot over the years. I'm excited to finally live an independent life and have the ability to spend a little more on premium options for things like food, drinks, clothes, cars, apartment, etc. And the list goes on. But at the same time, I wonder if I can help my parents out more and pay them back for the immense sacrifices they had to make as immigrant parents from Mongolia in
he's Mongolian.
in America. Okay, I think you should listen to our episode if you haven't already, because I think this was written out before the episode of me talking about how I help support my family.
Yes, it's the finances of supporting your mom, I think it was called.
Episode.
It was like 2-3 episodes ago.
Yeah.
But check that out.
Personally, I feel as if it's hard. There is a tax that we pay as immigrant kids.
Mm-hmm.
That is for certain, I think. Well, I don't know for you, I guess, in a way. I don't know if you feel the guilt so much yet. But this kid sounds like, and I feel this guilt of having to somehow take care of our family. And I don't know if that's something our parents instilled. My mom kind of instilled that in me, that she's like, I sacrificed a lot.
Yeah.
So it's ingrained. The guilt is ingrained. The shame is ingrained.
Yeah.
So I do it not even 100% necessarily because I'm like such a good daughter, right? It's this feeling I should do it.
This is a very nice, he's a very good son.
He's
good.
good.
His question is, I wonder if I can be helping my parents out more. Like, that's his question.
Yeah, because like he is going to be moving out, so the parents are going to start feeling some sort of way, right?
I just think like with parent stuff, it gets tricky because like, it's almost like you can't, I don't know. I think you want to use both emotions and logic for this, because if you just go with emotions, you're gonna be like the narrative is there. Oh, they sacrificed everything for me, so I must give them everything. But in like actual reality and practice, like that's actually very illogical for you to sacrifice everything back to them. You know what I mean? Like they
We didn't ask you to come here.
we're like, it's just like, but like you should help them out, but like you really it's also important for you as a 26-year-old American boy to fucking be a 26-year-old American boy.
Yes.
You're in this fucking cool
Yes.
country, you know?
Yes.
Go like you make 125, bro. Like you
Yes.
need to be having fun.
Absolutely.
Right? And like that, and I think, I don't know your parents, but I think they would want to see that. It seems like they don't like it when you pay for them because they're proud people. I think, you know, one way that they would be happy for you is like if you went out and did stuff that they couldn't do. Go fucking, I don't know, go to fucking Machu Picchu and take a picture at the top or where the fuck, you know, like go travel,
agree.
you know.
It is an emotional, and there's two sides
There's
to
two
it.
sides to it. Like, don't get me wrong, you should be supporting and do what you can, but like, don't like beat yourself up because you're not devoting the majority of your salary back to them. I don't think that makes sense either, unless they're about to go homeless, right? And it doesn't sound like that. Maybe their saving isn't ideal, but it sounds like they're doing like okay.
Yeah. This is more of your personal guilt. It has nothing to do with them asking you for anything. So I think until they really do ask you, personally, I would say wait. Or this is my other idea, is start a form of a fund and put a percentage of the checks. I don't even know if you need to tell them this. And then when they do start asking for financial support of some sort, you could be like, hey, I started this little fund for you and that's growing like 3% or whatever.
Oh, that's an incredible idea.
Yeah, like not a mutual fund
Any
or whatever,
account
some sort of
that's growing or
account that
whatever.
grows a little bit of money. But I think if you put in like a couple hundred or $100 even a month or something of your check, it probably isn't that bad for you. Like that'll still be money down the line when they do need it. Maybe 100's not enough.
I think.
don't know.
He said they're very proud people, so they may not ever ask. But I think it's still a good idea to one day just like maybe, I don't know how old your parents are, but maybe when they get to an age where, you know, maybe they start thinking about retiring or whatever.
That's
you know,
our
because you said the retirement plan is not ideal. You said that, so it'd be a really nice surprise and gift to be like, hey, like I know you have some money saved up, but I've been doing this for you for the last 5-10 years, and I think this would really help. And
yes, because I think the reality is our parents are living longer. People's parents are just living longer.
Yeah.
And so most of us at some point are going to have to be caretakers.
Yes.
So I do think that maybe we don't talk about that enough. Is finding out how, we should, because we want to help our immigrant parents or just parents generally, we should have a fund of some sort where money will be going to them to contribute to
that feels like a respectful way to give money back, because there's something dirty about just being like, here's 10K. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Were
like
you throwing it at them like
there's
strippers?
just some sort of like, I think I'm going back to the power thing. I think when you give somebody just like cash or whatever, like obviously if they're going through a medical thing, that's different. But like, I think that if Abu wrote his parents a check for like $25,000, his dad might be insulted just judging from what's right. It's like, you think I can't fucking make my own money?
Yeah.
It's sensitive. But if you help start a fund or something, maybe teach him a little bit of investing. He may not know. A lot of immigrant parents don't know anything about investment, right? Like, what's that phrase? You teach a man how to fish or whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he needs to go on Reddit, but I'm just saying like I think handing over somebody a fund or an account that's been growing is a much more delicate way to be like, I love you, I care about you. And this is something that's sort of growing on its own. And you can use this whenever you want. Feel free to use this whenever you want.
Exactly.
It's for you. Other than, but like, you know, I think handing somebody cash or whatever can be like a little bit weird, especially if they're very proud for people.
Yeah.
So,
I love that he's already starting to ask these questions at the age of 26.
He's incredibly mature.
Mature and like thinking about the future, which is great. And you're making good money. We're proud of you.
I know.
The fact that you're coming in with this question is just, I think it's amazing. But I think it's also very important to know that once you start, because you are someone who obviously feels some sort of like, I don't know, I don't want to put that on you, but it feels as if you are conscious of your parents. Mm-hmm. So just know that once you start giving them the money and they accept the money, it's going to be harder if you say for something happens and you can't pay that money for you to take away the money. Or it's going to even feel like you're taking it away. It's actually, you're just stopping it, right? For whatever reason. Right. Say that you start a family or whatever. It's going to feel really uncomfortable at that time. So just know that whatever you start now may potentially...
you can't take it back.
it's harder to take it back without
that's
being
real.
awkward
that's
about
100% real.
So I love it.
So don't rush into it. But we know you're such a great son, and I hope that I hope that your girlfriend's like, sucking you off and shit. You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck?
Like, you're such a good guy. Abu is like a really good son. I'm so proud of him. I can't believe someone like this listens to our podcast. I thought our podcasts are a bunch of fucking chaotic idiots, but no, they're fucking
we have really responsible,
like thoughtful men. And like that's really nice.
I think you know what? Maybe it's because people who think about money are conscious, just generally.
Yeah.
Right? Would we say that?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That would listen.
Like they can't be too chaotic because they're at least like aware about money and stuff.
Yeah, that's why they listen.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Good boy, good girl. You're listening.
Good guy.
Yeah.
All right, that's our episode for this week. Thank you so much for listening, cuties. We hope you enjoyed it. Just a real quick shout out to our sound engineer, Domagoj Ivanchik.
Let's go.
From Croatia, and
Good
our video
job.
editor, Matthias Robles. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What do we do here? Oh, yes. Please follow us on all the socials. We have a joint Instagram account on Instagram and TikTok. It's at Cash Cuties Pod. I'm also on there at the Fumi Abe. That's TheFumiAbe.
And you can find my work at steffibake.com, as well as my Instagram at Baked Goods, BIKEDGUDS. And feel free to Venmo us. Do you want to say your Venmo? If you want
yes.
to. If you don't use Patreon.
Yes, we want you to Patreon. That's the best way to support this podcast. It's patreon.com/CashCutiesPod. But if for some reason you just want to give us cash directly, you can Venmo me at the Fumi Abe. That's TheFumiAbe.
And Venmo me at Steffi is me.
And if you want to get in on the questions, the mailbag segment, please email us at cashcutiespodcast@gmail.com. Tell us, what kind of financial bind you're in. If it's a short one, we would love a voice memo. If it's really long, you can write it out, I guess. But we prefer either way to be short so that we can edit it in. But we love hearing from you guys. You guys have great questions. Yeah. And I think that's it. So we'll see you guys next week. And until then, spend your money wisely.
Or not.